what is my legacy?
We're out of time. Thank you so much.
Right.
It's all these children with different wives of different
Honestly,
ethnicities.
yeah. Seriously, Korean Ahmed, Vietnamese Ahmed, Taiwanese Ahmed. It's like 50,
All the women
all
are
the
named
Asian,
Ahmed.
they're all different flavors of Asian. White Ahmed, I'm definitely gonna have. Listen, White Ahmed is first.
This is Cleopodtra. I'm Lynn Molly.
And I'm Christy Bana, and this is a podcast where two Middle Eastern comedy queens go on an expedition to dig up the funny from the first generation experience. We're so excited to introduce our guest today, Mr. Ahmed Al-Kadri.
Yay.
He's our friend and a Yemeni comedian and Habibi who hails from Dallas, Texas.
D-Town, Texas, throw your guns in the air, hey?
Also,
What's
as
going on?
a credit, should say that I do consider him my son.
Yes, you are my mom. Yes, I do
Absolutely.
consider you
Birthed
my
him.
comedy mom. That's right. You know what's funny is I first saw you like years ago in 2019 before I moved to LA. No, not 2019. Sorry, 2017. I was filming a dating show. I was on a dating show called Love Connection. I don't tell a lot of people
Did you
this.
find love?
Yeah, but it was long distance. It was long distance.
Okay.
And we were like after we chose each other, and then they took us to this resort along with other couples that got set up, and then that show just turned into like behind the scenes turned into Jersey Shore because everyone just started hooking up with other people's couples. But her and I were just like, hey, you live in blank and I'm still in Texas. Let's just hook up and part ways. She's like, yeah, I'm down.
I can't believe I'm only just hearing about this now.
Yeah, I've been holding this back for a while.
Wait, first of all, thank you for giving us this exclusive. Was it on like Netflix or what is it? It
It's
sounds
on
like
Fox.
11. Oh my God.
Wait, we can watch it?
I don't know. I know it was on Hulu for a bit. It's called Love Connection with Andy Cohen.
Oh
And
my
then
God.
Andy Cohen was hitting on me on live TV.
So amazing.
Wow.
That's actually on my bucket list.
Yeah. Not a lot of people know this.
Wait, so what does
mean,
that have to do with Lynn?
Okay, so that's right. So
Lynn, were you secretly on this show
so
as
while
well?
I was
I dated Ahmed.
while I was filming that show, I was like, they put me in LA early because they wanted me to date one of. This fun fact: not a lot of white girls in Texas want to blind date a brown dude. So I had to fly to LA for my last date, and but I was there a couple days early. So I was like, I want to hit up the open mics, and then I saw you. I was like, oh, she's Syrian, and then when I moved to LA, I was going to a UCB mic, but I was at Gelson's nearby, and then I saw you from afar, but I didn't think you remember it, and I waved at you, and you're like,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
So
This is
you've
how
been-
my memory works.
You've
Yeah,
been wanting to be my friend for so long.
to be your son.
Okay, good. That's true.
I'm like Lion. This is my Lion. Have you seen the movie Lion?
I have not.
Okay, the movie Lion is about this Indian guy who was adopted by Australian parents.
Okay.
And
This is Nicole Kidman, right?
yeah, Nicole Kidman's in it, and then he like uses Google and it's based on a true story. He uses Google Maps and goes to his village and then finds his actual parents.
So
and
that's
this like
me.
really deep village. So this is my Lion.
Got it. I am a Leo astrologically, so this all adds up.
Okay, I have another question.
Oh,
Okay.
I like
Are you
that
in-
you're interviewing us.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I know,
Okay.
but no, because it's like Cleopatra, and I love talking about the I give bike tours around LA, and I always talk about when Elizabeth Taylor. She was a huge diva when they were filming Cleopatra in the 1930s, and then she would just stop. She wouldn't even show up to set, so they would like hold production and stop production for a couple days, and that cost like thousands and thousands of dollars each day. So we're just hemorrhaging money. And Fox Studios were like, no, this is gonna be the biggest movie of all time. 1936, they released Elizabeth
63.
Taylor.
63?
No, it's 36.
Okay.
Hold on.
I claim Switzerland, and I believe the date was exactly in the middle.
Oh,
of those two
63,
dates.
63. Sorry, yeah, 1963.
Sorry. I didn't need to say that. I'm sorry. Just 36 is like a really
Why
old.
did I say 30? Sorry,
It's okay.
1963. Sorry. So they kept hemorrhaging money. 63, biggest bomb ever. And they lost so much money. Fox Studios sold 9/10 of their land and studio back to the city of Hollywood, and they had to start back up in Century City.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? That's why that's why Fox Studios is in Century City rather than the Hollywood area.
Oh my goodness, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that at all. They were banned to the West Side.
Yeah, and that's why they were there. Isn't that crazy?
That is nuts. I mean, it's funny how, when she was arguably method acting to be a huge diva to play Cleopatra.
That makes sense.
When Daniel Day-Lewis does it, Oscar.
Well, she didn't really do a good job. It's whatever. But have you seen like old movies in the 60s and
course.
70s? They're so bad.
Yep.
They're so bad.
Acting is a completely different game. Just decades and decades ago.
Yeah, it's terrible. Well, also it's like, the art progresses or whatever. Yeah.
Right. Well, I think it's like comedy too. Like when you see 90s comedy, you're like, oh, this is really 90s comedy. Like the genre evolves. I think obviously there's going to be evergreen and ever talented performances in acting and comedy where you're like, this is still funny. When you watch, Richard Pryor or something like that, you're like, this is still good. But then there's some times where you're like, oh, wow, this is when the airplane joke was like cutting edge observational humor, and now if you do it now, it's like hack,
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you know who's one comedian that like a lot of Joe Rogan and other older comedians would praise? Was Sam Kinison. And then I would go look at old videos of Sam Kinison. I was like, this guy sucks. Like he's so obnoxious and he's just loud and he's just like coked out of his mind. Like what the fuck? And I was like, all right, well, this is their nostalgia.
Right.
It's like me watching, I love Bill Burr so much, but if my kids were to watch Bill Burr, they'd be like, who the fuck?
Before we get too deep into the current, sort of comedy realities of Ahmed, I want to take it back a little bit and ask you, like, tell us about your journey from, being a Yemeni kid in Texas, or even further, like when your parents came to this country and
we're going way back.
Yeah, we're going way. So this is a first generation.
So my family goes back to a little village called Ma'abak.
Okay, every American listening to this now has to repeat that word exactly.
Yeah, but my mom and dad were both raised in Sana'a, and then my dad's it's funny because like everyone, I think a lot of Arabs have this story, but my dad's dad, my grandfather Muhammad, he was like a really rich man. He was very smart in import and export. A business thing that my uncle told me was he was like in Aden, and he got a bunch of lobster. And people, it was just like, it's lobster. Like for them, it was like super cheap. Like let's say like $1 or $2. Right. But he knew in France, it was like a huge delicacy and it was like super expensive. So he would get a bunch of lobster and then sell it in France and he would make like a shit ton of money. That was like one of his big ideas. And he was like a really smart businessman, in Yemen, shit gets corrupt. So he was like a really rich guy, and then he like lost all of his money, and
This is your grandfather?
Yeah, this is my grandfather.
That's so funny.
That's like an old story that, I should ask
tell people your grandfather invented lobster.
Yeah, he invented. Yeah, that's what Jordan Peterson keeps talking about. That's what he's obsessed about. No, but he, so that was that goes way back, but he had 2 wives, he's a fucking gangster. Good Muhammad.
He was the original Polly.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
He was
What's so funny? I thought about it when all the, especially in LA, because that's where this is the core of liberalism, of all the liberals. They're like, yeah, I'm poly, you know what I mean? My girlfriend has another girlfriend or some shit like that. I'm like, they're basically Muslims.
Same with fasting, intermittent fasting. We're like, fasting, Arabs are way ahead of you on fasting. It all comes back full circle.
Right. It all comes, yeah. And, but the only difference is it's better for men. Men can have multiple wives, but it's disgusting if it's the other way around. So, and then my mom, my mom has my mom has an orphan story because, her dad had I think her mom was his second wife or third wife, but then the mom didn't really like that the other marriages weren't fully divorced yet. It was so they ended up getting a divorce, and she remarried, and I think the stepdad didn't want her to be living with them. So my mom ended up was raised by her grandparents. Oof. So her grandfather is named Ahmed, and that's what I'm named after. Aww. Yeah. So it goes back. I mean, y'all said y'all wanted to go way back.
Yeah, we're going back.
So then, actually, funny enough, my dad's family and my mom's family, this is very Yemeni. Like, both comes from really big families. So Beit Qasa, where my mom's coming, and Beit Rashan, where my dad's like family coming from. Like they already like have been marrying. Their families have been marrying each other. Like, of course. Like, you know, their uncle married their aunt or something, and then like my dad's brother married my mom's aunt. But they're like same age because you know how very Yemeni everyone gets. You know, the culture. It's like the mom has a baby and then she keeps having kids and then the daughter grows up and then she's pregnant. So like the daughter and the mom would be pregnant together. So it's kind of very cool. Anyway, so then it's like a Gerber baby ad pops up right over here.
Yeah, that face said so much.
So, but then like, anyways. My dad and my mom, they always knew each other, and my dad always liked my mom since they were young. And then when my dad when he went to America, he got a full ride to Georgetown.
Nice.
Yeah. Arabs are so smart.
Huh?
Arabs are so smart.
Yeah. He got really good score at the TOEFL exam, and then he came back to he actually transferred to New Mexico State University. Goes to Yemen because, hey, he's 18, all right? He's got to get married.
Right. TikTok.
What's going on with you? Yeah. All right? What are you going to do? Be a 30-year-old comedian in L.A.? You're 18 in college. You got to get married. What's wrong with you? So he goes to Yemen, and then, like, I still remember, this is actually a really funny story. He wanted to marry my mom, Najat, and then my grandma, his mom, was like, no. Like, she's 6 months older than you.
Oh, wow, yeah.
But they're like, yo, she's older than you. Why?
Just dried up down there.
Yeah, right.
18-year-old in 6 months? Like,
yeah, 18 and a half. Like, what's going on? Like it was my grandma and Leonardo DiCaprio like, yo, what's up? That's gross.
And to this day, you stand by that.
Yeah, even me.
Of course. Not a day
What's
older.
Up? Meanwhile, all the girlfriends I've ever dated were older than me. Yo, what's up with that? So then, like, my dad was like, no, like, I want to marry Najat. So he goes to my mom's dad is all the way in Taz, which is like more, I would say, central Yemen. So he goes all the way down, and motherfucker's already had his 7th wife. The grandfather, not my dad. Yeah. Grandpa, 7 wives. Get to Abdul Aziz. He was a tall man.
All you have to say is tall, and we know what you mean.
He was tall, right? Even y'all two were like, is he looking for an 8th and 9th wife? Yeah. So my dad goes to it was like a village close to Taz. So my dad goes there, and then he was like, he opens the door and he goes, and he's like, Salam, my name is Tariq, and then Tariq Raskhan. And then he goes, oh, okay. And he was like, what do you want? He was like, oh, I want to marry your daughter. And he says, which one? And then he goes, oh, I want to marry Najat. And he goes, Najat, well, she's all the way in the city. You want to just marry one of my daughters right over here? I think he was joking.
Yeah, we think. We don't know ever, yeah.
Listen, I think he was joking. Listen.
That makes sense.
Because both sides of the families have a really good sense of humor.
Okay, he was probably kidding.
Yeah, so then they got married. The baby making factories opened, okay, you know. Of course. They moved to New Mexico State. That's where my older brother, Mustafa, who I also don't talk about a lot.
We don't talk about Mustafa.
Yeah, it's a sad
Sorry, that's
story.
we don't talk about
Bruno. Yeah, I know. I know what you're saying. We don't talk about Mustafa.
I swear to God, one day when there's Arab Encanto, we're going to be on all of them.
We're going to kill it. All right, when there is a Disney movie.
Our Pixar moment.
Yeah, or a Pixar movie, based off. I mean, we got Aladdin, but.
We don't, though, you know?
We need something more, original. Yeah. We need an original
with actual actual
and then even at least Mulan.
The dad can't be white with a British accent.
Yeah, right.
And there are no tigers.
Is that? Did you see? Is this the live action remake?
Oh, just Aladdin at all.
The
that
OG,
there's-
just-
she owns a tiger. What Arab do you know that has a tiger?
The Saudis.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
there's
okay.
so many. Come on.
Okay,
that's
that's
some
fair.
GS.
I don't know one Saudi with a tiger, and I'll die on that hill.
I don't think I know one Saudi, to be honest. Do
And
we
then
know
when they
any?
had the what?
Any Saudis in the comedy scene?
Oh my God, I'm blanking out.
I don't think I actually know one Saudi comic.
Because they have money. Why would you listen? If I had money, I wouldn't be fucking
Me
doing this.
too. I absolutely agree with that.
Right? Like I would not be doing this
No.
at all.
I'd be on a boat.
What?
And what?
What would you be doing?
We would be hanging.
I would still be drug dealing probably. I'd be in Texas for sure, just making money.
Oh man.
You know.
Wait, so if you had money, you'd just be in Texas making money?
Yeah.
Okay.
Making
well,
more money.
Okay.
I'd be in like Europe, just like drinking wine.
Yeah. I'd probably go to a lot of rave festivals.
So is that the one time I'm not going to be able to
pretty
relate
much
to
my
you?
life outside of comedy times 10. You know, just having fun, living that bachelor life.
I like that I'm on a vineyard having a single glass of wine.
And I'm like,
And literally, it would just be, I would be doing exactly this because I'm having a great time and this is what I like.
Christy,
to
that
do.
might be the saddest of
yeah,
all.
that's lame.
I'm the least
Do you
ambitious.
not, do you
like
not have, I got money dreams?
Well, I was an attorney, so like I had a lot of money as an attorney. I was making a big salary,
But you had
and
to work for that
I had to work.
money.
That was my entire life.
Exactly.
Was that I didn't have fun. I didn't
Yeah, but
have
we're talking. We're both
talking
talking about like Saudi rich, where it's
Oh,
You're just
okay.
born with
yeah.
money. Would you be doing this?
I
you
would
have
probably buy a
podcast?
comedy club and then pay people to be there, and then have somebody like with a big machete threatening, like, you better laugh.
like, okay,
Yeah.
comedy chateau.
Yeah.
Where was I? Oh yeah, back to my dad. But no, my older brother Mustafa, me, and Abdurrahman, we got married. We got married. We got born.
To each other.
We were born in New Mexico. And then we moved to Dallas, Texas, because my dad found a job there, and then he wanted to put us in this Islamic school called
wow.
Brighter Horizons Academy.
I didn't know you went to an Islamic school.
Yeah, I went there my whole life.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's why you I feel like you are more connected to the community. You also skew more Arab than I do because I grew up in a very white.
Yeah. I feel like I'm more like religious than most of the Muslim community,
Yeah.
even though I'm not like I'm not. It's so funny because like when I'm here hanging out with all my Muslim friends, I'm like, oh, am I more like, I'll go to Friday prayer. No, Kazim is a lot more Kazim is a lot more religious than I am, or he inspires me. But like, you know, I still go to Friday prayer. I still fast for Ramadan. Like I try to, but like I don't really drink. But then, like, I go back home and they're like, "Oh, you're going to hell."
Yeah.
You're like, "Oh
relative.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's terrible." But also, like, I love, and that's why, like, I think, wow, this is a really great podcast because you just made me realize, like, I think the reason why I'm good at like making like Muslim jokes, but I could relate it to anybody, is because I grew up in a very Muslim community, but then like around like senior year of high school, I started hanging out with everybody. But I was friends with not just Arabs. I was friends with like the Afghan Muslim community, the Desi Muslim community. I was hanging out with everybody, and then like I started hanging out with the Black Muslim community. I was just the friendly, just me,
You were on that.
yeah. And then like when I went to college and I started making I didn't have my first white friend until
Wow.
college.
I had the opposite experience.
Yeah.
I don't think I had an Arab friend until comedy.
Yeah, I only had like Middle Eastern or Black friends.
Wow.
And Hispanic friends. And then when I went to college and joined a fraternity, I started having white friends. And I was like, okay, this is new.
And then when was the big move to LA?
I moved to LA like officially September 1st, but I drove in August 27th of 2018. I still remember that day. I had everything stuffed in my 2010 Honda Accord. I did everything stuffed. It was a silver Honda Accord that I grabbed it from my mom and I paid it off for her because I took over the car now. I still remember driving in. Oh my God! And I played the song "Genius of Love." The da, 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 whoop, whoop. The producer's bopping up. I thought it was so cool. But I was like, oh shit. I was like, damn, the palm trees. It was on my vision board. I'm a vision board guy.
Yeah.
I was
Oh
like,
my
yeah, I'm
God.
gonna move to LA. And then I moved here when I was 25. But before that, like, I know I'm skipping a lot, but like, there is a period when I was like, I graduated from college at 21, moved out, even though my mom's like, you're not moving out. And I was like, no, I'm moving out. And she's like, you're not moving out unless you get married. I was like, I'm not getting married and I'm moving out. Like, the next thing you know, she like helped me like move into my new apartment. But yeah, that period from like, when I was like from 22 through 25, like that 3-year period, I was a performer at Dallas Comedy House. I was an improviser. I was like improv and sketch were like mainly, and I was doing some stand up as well. And then I started taking stand up a little bit more seriously when I was like 23. But 21 was when I started improv and sketch, and I loved that. Loved stand up. And then and one person after a show was like, hey, I think you're funny, and that gave me enough confidence. I was like, I'm moving to LA, baby.
I know, just one person saying
moving
you're
to
funny.
Hollywood.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. I will say, like, it was nice because I wasn't like the funniest comic in Dallas, but I was like, I had some chops. But moving to LA and seeing the amount of talent was like what made me step up my game.
Of course,
like,
right.
It's like what made
Otherwise,
me
you get
like,
too comfortable. You're a big fish in a small pond.
Right. I didn't want that to happen to me. So just being in LA and just hitting the open mics as much as possible, and just like I remember like, I still remember it was like early 2019. And I remember it was like me and Dan Donahue, and we're outside of the Comedy Store. And we're on Monday nights, and where everyone was just hanging.
Potluck?
Yeah, for potluck. And I remember like talking to Dan, and he was like, "What's going on?" I was like, "I don't know, man. Like, I'm always like signing up. I'm not gonna get it, and if I do, I was like, I don't even think I'm ready." And he was like, "Yeah." He was like, "That's a good perspective to have." And I was like, "You know what? I just want to be good at comedy." So that whole year of 2019 was like, I still look back at it because that was like the hardest struggle I had in LA. Because I mean, I'm struggling.
Was feeling like you're good.
What?
The hardest struggle was feeling like you're good.
Right, or just like
Getting good.
It was just like, I was like, my mentality was, right, I know I'm a good comedian, but right now I suck. Like, that was legit how I really thought. Because I was like, damn, these people are really, really funny. These people are really, really good. And I need to work on my shit. I was hitting like 10 to 14 mics a week.
Wow.
Yeah, I had no life. I had an accounting job for Robert Half. They were paying me nothing. They're only paying me like 21 an hour. It's because I had a gap. Because I was drug dealing. I didn't really need a job. That's another story. But anyway, I had like a year of
times you've said you were drunk.
I had like April of 20.
I don't think my parents are ready for you to talk about your drug deal.
So I had like almost
what was
a
it?
year,
It was like Adderall, right?
What?
Yep. Okay. Sorry. I'm like, you're dealing. Like, you're not like slinging heroin.
No, not heroin. It was just like weed, shrooms, Adderall, and Molly, and sometimes brownies. Like nothing really crazy.
And brownies.
Yeah. But and it was in Texas.
Was it brownies for brownies and you sold them exclusively to brown people? I'm so sorry. Please.
It's adorable.
Strike that from the record.
Yeah,
that's adorable. I like that.
Okay, great.
I should get back to drug dealing. Let's go. Dude, fuck this. Dude.
Trademark.
This podcast changed my life.
Your logo, your face, and then when you take off the wrapper, it's clear, but you put the wrapper back on, it's a brown face. Stupid.
You're gonna get high. La 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 la.
Oh man, there's like a little prayer on the wrapper. You can just, like a fortune cookie, but it's just some Quran verse.
Yeah.
Amazing. I think we have our next
there's
enterprise.
this brownie strand called the Karen. It's like, I want to speak to God's manager. But anyways, but yeah, like I had like a year span, but they were only paying me like 21 an hour, but I was working like, I was like a glorified temp. So all I did was like, I would wake up at 6 a.m., go to the gym. I was gotta get my swole on.
Of course.
Yes.
Gym Daddy Ahmed gotta do his thing.
You're the son of
all
a
those
gym
brownies.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, son of a gym, get in. Yeah. But I would go work out, get off, This is like pre-pandemic when traffic was horrible. Like right now, it's still really, really bad, but I think it was worse in
I
2019.
think it's less now because there's more people working from home and there's still strike. Like,
And because gas is
Residuals.
$8 a
Yeah.
gallon.
Yeah, and gas is it's literally fucking so expensive. But I ended up and then I was doing UCB sketch classes that I got with the diversity scholarship, and then Groundlings improv classes, and then just hitting open mics. So all I did was just like run that circuit, just like trying to get better. I was like, I need to become better. I need to get really good.
When did you feel like you started? When did you feel like you were like, okay, I feel
I'm
like
going to be honest, and it goes back to mom right over here. This is when Lynn was like, you're my son now.
I was about to tell this same story.
I had two moments. I actually had two moments. Was I was working so hard, and then the week or 2 weeks before the pandemic, I went to Dallas, and I featured at Dallas Comedy House. This is when they moved to the new location, and a bunch of my friends came through, and it was just so cool because I was like, at first I was nervous, but then I go, wait a minute, I've hit so many open mics this past 2019. Like, I know I'm good, and I had a really, really good set. Like I mean, now I'm like way better than those, but I had a really good set. Like the confidence, the joke writing was there. Like you could see that I was like not as bad or whatever. And then pandemic hit, and that didn't stop me. I just still like was just producing shows. I had my own open mic before the pandemic, and during the pandemic I was writing park shows. I used to like literally remember the old park day.
Show.
I still remember this because it was in Eagle Rock. I went to visit Jake Grafstein.
Shout out. He gets called out a lot on this podcast.
Yeah, I'm sure he
Yeah, we
does.
love
Yeah, he
him.
does, because he's the sweetest boy, and he needs to get back into comedy. But anyways, but he was like, hey, I was going, you know how Jake is. I was going on a run. Check out this park. And he was like, look at this. Like it was like this big old like Greek-like amphitheater outside. But it was like kind of dirty because that's where a lot of high school kids drink, and a lot of homeless people drink, and a lot of crackheads smoke crack. So, I mean, it just sparked where I was like, okay, every Saturday I just like would sweep up early.
Montage.
And just throw in the comedy show.
it's just you cleaning up over the
Yeah.
This is the montage scene in your memoir.
And then remember coyotes would show up.
Yeah.
So there were times during that park show, a comedian would be doing stand-up and a coyote's running, and I'm like I was literally like, look, and the coyotes are more scared of you. So when you like run up to the coyote's like, oh shit, and runs away from you. There was like little, what was that little animal that pop out of the hole?
Gophers.
Yeah, there were little gophers that would pop
cute.
out. Remember?
I don't remember the gophers.
Lots of crows. It was just.
You're like the Snow White of comedy, bro. There's like squirrels helping you get ready.
But it's like creepy animals because it's comedy.
Coyotes and gophers.
Yeah,
it's all just like
there was one
raccoons.
owl that would just stare at you. Owls freak me the fuck out.
Yeah, and the animals were extra like out for business during the pandemic because I think the humans were away.
Yeah,
so
they
they're
knew
like,
what's
it's
up.
our time.
Yeah, they knew what's up. You would hear it was just lots of outdoor comedy, but but I remember like having a good set in front of you, and you were like, you're really good.
I was gonna say the same thing. I remember the first time I saw you, I was like, oh, he's cute and funny and Arab, like hell yeah. But then I remember seeing you on that show, and I was like, Ahmed, you are good. You're like really good. It was really incredible.
That means a lot because like it wasn't just you, but it was like during that pandemic, like 2020 and 2021, like a lot of people are coming up to me and like, whoa, you're like, you put in the work. Like you've gotten a lot better. You've gotten so much better. So that felt really good to just be like, you know, a lot of comedians, you want to be respected by your peers. So.
But now this is where I channel my lawyer, and I'm like, all right.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
So Cleopatra viewed herself as a living goddess. Can you tell us about a time you felt almost supernatural or godlike? Alternatively, tell us about a useless talent you have.
Perfect. Okay. I mean, I've never really felt godlike, but I will say but we've had one or two times, a few times in your career where you're doing so well in stand-up. You're like in the pocket. You're in the zone. But you're having a set that's so good. Like you feel like your soul just left your body and you're watching this happen. You're like, whoa, what is happening? It's like that. Like full high when you're crushing so hard on stage. It's only happened to me like once or twice. I'm not saying a lot, but I want to, because it's hard to get to that level because it's like you like performing your best, but it's also the crowd being like amazing, you know. But a useless talent, I Gleek. Check this out.
What is it? What's the definition of gleeking?
Is you just like, you know, the glands, the glands under your tongue, it shoots water to help, keep your mouth hydrated.
You do that on command though. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I think there's like a comedy.
I don't think these mics are.
I have another
useless
talent. I'm full of these.
Jesus
Check this out. Check this out.
Oh, what is this talent?
One-handed claps.
I can do that with.
But
yours are better. Yours are better. Look. This wasn't a competition. I just meant to say I could do it with one hand.
It's time to highlight my useless talents here.
It's true. All right, go.
What's another useless talent that I...
That must be useful if you're at a comedy show and you're like eating something that need to clap.
I am always eating something.
So supportive.
Okay.
All right, next question. Cleopatra wasn't actually Egyptian, but she embraced many Egyptian customs. What is a super American custom you've adopted, or a custom or part of your culture that you've tried to shake but just can't? Chewing cut.
Yeah, right.
Sorry.
I mean, doing drugs, yeah. I will say this. A big part of an American custom that I will never shake off and I hold dearly is complaining to customer service. Hear me out. Hear me out. It's not even it's not like I'm always complaining, but I'm willing to call customer service and get what's rightfully mine.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you this
That's
because
just called patience. If something is rightfully yours and you need to like
yeah, but like a lot of people outside of America don't really get the concept of like customer service. It's like let me tell you why. When I was in Istanbul, I had a really bad experience with an Istanbul taxi driver. No, I fucking hate Istanbul taxi driver. I have a gripe. Like it used to be like the most annoying people in the world would be like telemarketers, gym membership salesmen, and tow truck drivers. But now it's fucking Istanbul taxi drivers up in the top. I hate them all. If you are, and I know it's majority of your audience are
I was
Istanbul
just to say, can you like go a little
drivers,
easier? We're
taxi drivers. Yeah,
toxic driver. Okay.
This is definitely going to be the most polarizing clip that we
Yes.
post.
No,
So Lynn
fuck them. I hate them all.
Polarizing clip of the day.
But anyways, I had like
this
me and my cousins, we had a nightmare experience. Let's just say he tried to like, he was driving. I'm not saying just driving recklessly, like everyone in the Middle East drives recklessly or everyone in Turkey drives recklessly. Like, no, this guy is like, he almost got us killed. He drove so bad that he got pulled over by the police. All right.
Oh, that's...
And he almost killed us. He kept smoking cigarettes in the car. I know it's not, that's just me being complaining. And then there's, to get from the Europe to the Asia side, there's 3 bridges. And he could have gotten us to the first bridge, but no, he gets us all the way to the cross. What should have been like a $30, $40
Oh, you think he took the long
Uber
way
ride.
on purpose?
Yeah, he tried to charge us $90. Like you could order a taxi cab with the Uber app, but it's not actually Uber. You're just getting a taxi driver, and he's still setting up the prices and putting it on the Uber. Like the whole thing's a fucking scam. They try to scam you, and I hate it all.
Wow.
I hate Istanbul taxi drivers.
So what was this customer service experience?
But anyways, yeah, like when it came to this reckless driving, like it should have been an hour. It took us 3 hours.
Get out.
Or 2.5. It was bad.
Oh, yeah, that's
no.
bad.
The whole thing was just like a horrible experience, you know. And I just had a hair transplant. My head was hurting.
I mean, they should be.
Hey, look what they gotta love the Turks.
Yeah.
Gotta love the Turks. All right. I love their food. I love the people. I love everything about Turkey, and I'm going back to Istanbul soon because I love that country and that city so fucking much. But I hate the taxi drivers. I told my cousin Ruqayya, I was like, do not like rate them at all. Like, I said rate them. No, I said rate him 1 star now. She's like, no, I just hit skip. Like, she was like, no, I don't complain. We don't complain. Like, come on. And I literally go, you guys are with a fucking American. You're with an American.
God-given right.
I hit 1 star. I complained so fucking much that they refunded our money. And then I took it a step further. Well, I was complaining about my Instagram story, and then my Turkish fans were like, nah. They gave me the taxi. I love the Turkish fans. They go, because even people in Turkey are like, no, we're sick of the Istanbul taxi drivers. They're horrible. And they're racist too. But that's another story. They were racist towards the Arabs. That's another thing. And even people were like my Turkish fans were like, no, here's the number for the taxi service. Like, call them, tell them do you remember the number? I was like, yeah, I have it on my Uber app. They're like, complain. You could get his license revoked. Bro, I complained. I showed my cousins the power of customer service. I showed them what an American is all about. And we called the bank to get our money back because we have a withdrawal, or what was it? Insufficient funds withdrawal. And they're like, listen, I want my money. Right. Okay? I deserve this. Me and Sammy Obeid, we were staying at a Airbnb, or was it the one we were both staying at, or somewhere else, but yeah, he was left like a really shitty review, even though he did everything. He cleaned it up. He did everything that was supposed to. And then I think it was like they left the trash like outside somewhere. You know what I mean? I guess it wasn't as clear about the trash, even though the whole house was spotless and they cleaned up everything up. And all of a sudden, like, they left him in like a really shitty review, and it's like, no, fuck that.
You're on vacation.
No, fuck these people who are fuck these Airbnb hosts. Some of them charge like $400 cleaning fees.
Right.
Also, a lot of them are multiple homeowners, which
yeah,
like most of them are contributing also to like the horrible shortage of housing.
Yeah, they can fuck themselves. I don't give a fuck.
I want to stay somewhere where I can get my mascara and eyeliner all over the towels. That is my big move.
Just bring a tiny little blackface towel.
Hotels.
That's true. You can do that.
I've only booked an Airbnb like once or twice. I was always pro hotels. A motel too. In
the heyday of Airbnb in maybe like 2013, I stayed in like a ton of them.
I stayed in a ton.
There was I will say there was a good period of Airbnb, but similar to Uber.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Remember when they were all cool? They were just like your friend coming to pick you up?
I used to sit on the passenger seat for Uber.
No, I won't get that close to anyone
That's so
anymore.
funny. The day you felt successful was the day you're like, I'm gonna go back here, actually.
Yeah.
No, like I cannot stand like now. Well, Uber's fine. I'm a man and nothing can happen to me, but but Airbnb, like,
correction, only good things can happen to you. But also, like, for Airbnb, like, I remember, like, what was I gonna say? Like, when in college, during my college days, 2013, 2014, getting an Airbnb was like way better, you know. But now it's like people monopolize and monetize, you know. Yeah.
What's the point?
That actually segues well into our next question, which is, Cleopatra was a famously luxurious woman. What's a luxury item you will never skimp on? Is it hotels or is it something else?
No, I was going to say I'm not very bougie, but I try to budget on a lot of things in my life, but I just don't budget on food. I love food.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, I genuinely feel like I have the potential to have like the nicest body ever, but I won't. Because I just love food too much.
Just say no to the best
I
body
love
ever.
bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when you see like those Instagram fitness dudes like just ripped abs all the time. I'm like, yeah, but have you had a croissant?
All right, another question. Cleopatra was a known seductress. What is your best pickup line, or alternatively your best meet cute?
There is this one scene in The Big Sick when Kumail like writes girls' names in Urdu. He's like, this is your name in Urdu. And I was like, I've done that before at a
That's
bar
so funny.
where I was like, oh yeah, what's your name? Oh, Lynn. Oh yeah, this is your name in Arabic, and I'll write it in Arabic. And the girls, they're stupid. They don't know. And
Do you even know how to write Arabic?
yeah, I know.
Okay,
I know
that'd be hilarious if
I
you're
know.
like, but my name's Vanessa. It looks a lot like Lynn's name in Arabic.
No, but it's no, I would like, I know how to, not great handwriting.
Yeah.
Probably not great spelling either, but it's not
Well,
an
phonetic,
Arabic
yeah.
thing. It's even in English. My spelling is horrible.
Ahmed just draws a picture of a duck.
It's like, this is your name in
And
Arabic.
Egyptian hieroglyphics.
Exactly.
In high school, as a joke, I used to do, hey, what is your zip code? Zip means penis. So I'm like, what's your zip code?
They had no idea what that meant.
And we were at Firewheel Mall. Wow, what a throwback. And we were just like going up to girls like, hey, what's your zip code? And we thought it was hilarious. Like, and then one time we went up to this girl, and this girl was like, I speak Arabic. We're like, oh shit, we all ran away.
Oh my God. All right, last question. Cleopatra and Mark Antony would wander the streets of Alexandria in disguise and play pranks on the innocent townspeople. They were bad people. Tell us about your best prank played by you or on you.
I like doing like I don't really do pranks, but it's just like stupid bits. So like at the Haram Guys shows, I had a bunch of fruit snacks stuffed in my pocket, and I kept going to Reem, and Reem was hosting, and I was like, dude, Reem, that was great. Here, have a fruit snack. And she's like, oh, thanks. And then like literally 2 minutes later, I was like she was having a conversation. I was like, dude, that's fucking hilarious. Do you want a fruit snack? And I pulled out another. She's like, how many fucking fruit snacks? I did it to her at least 7 times. Like
That's
just
the nicest prank in the
throughout
whole
the night. I
world.
just go up to Reem and I was like, here, have a fruit snack. She was like, stop. Like, but after the 6th one, she was getting annoyed. And then after like 10 and 11, she was laughing again. Like, it was just so.
That's very funny.
And then I was going to other people in front of her and be like, oh, dude, you want a fruit snack? So very like subtle. Like that's,
I like it.
very
they're, like,
harmless.
little bits. That's
Yeah, I'll do bits. I'm not like,
an asshole.
yeah. I guess.
And now it is time for a segment called Dig Deep. Elizabeth Taylor famously portrayed Cleopatra, as you know, in 1936.
Yeah, right. Sorry, my dyslexia kicked in.
If your life were a
63.
crossover episode of 2 TV shows or films, what would they be and who would play you?
Rami meets Kicking and Screaming, starring Will Ferrell.
Oh.
Who would play me? I mean, it would be a kid version of me. I mean, who knows? Probably just me, like with AI.
Yeah, AI Ahmed.
Whoa.
How young are we talking?
Um,
Because if it's high school, you could play high school.
yeah, but no, I can't play high school. I'm too buff.
Have you seen Bottoms though?
I was told by a casting
No, you're in
director.
good shape.
I was told by a casting director. They go, oh well, you have very broad chest and shoulder. Like they were like, you're too muscular. She said I was too muscular. I didn't say buff. Buff is like a layman's term.
That must have made you feel really bad about yourself. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry you had that experience.
No, I don't. No, I guess she was like, you have the face to play a high school, but they were like, you would have to wear layers to hide the muscle.
That
And I
makes
was,
sense.
No, I mean, I was not. I was more like, yeah,
You think so?
what's up? You think I'm swole?
Yeah, I famously been rejected for every role I've auditioned because they said I was too pretty.
Oh, I'm sorry, Christy. It's so
sad.
You know what's funny? A lot of the descriptions that I've been going for, they go, we want attractive, but not model attractive. I was like, okay,
Ding, ding, ding.
I'll be there.
yeah, that's me. I'll take it.
All right. This is a heavier question.
Take a
So
deep breath.
Cleopatra left a storied legacy as a queen, scientist, and scholar. What do you want your legacy to be? We know you want to spread your seed, but
Yeah.
what else would you like to be remembered for the most? Alternatively, what will your epitaph read?
Oh my God, that is a deep question. What is my legacy?
We're out of time. Thank you so much.
It's all these children with different wives of different
Honestly, yeah.
ethnicities.
Seriously, Korean Ahmed, Vietnamese Ahmed, Taiwanese Ahmed. It's like 50,
All the women
all
are
the
named
Asian,
Ahmed.
they're all different flavors of Asian. Filipino Ahmed, but then like Black Ahmed, White Ahmed. I'm definitely gonna have. Listen, White Ahmed is first. He gets all the money. Listen, I don't make the rules, okay? And they're all named Ahmed.
Okay, like a
just
George
all Ahmed
Foreman
Juniors.
situation.
The legacy, I'm just going to go with my dad's quote. When you're born, you're crying and everyone around you is smiling. Make sure you live a good life where you treat everyone with respect and kindness. So when you die, everyone is crying and you're the one smiling.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So I want so if I die, I want, okay, I will say this. I want a kid generations down the line talking about me in a podcast. Like, oh, have you heard of this comedian named Ahmed Al-Kadri? Oh, I'm very fond of him and stuff. Like kind of like Joe Rogan talking about Sam Kinison. So this one comedian talking about me, and then other people see old clips of me and they go, oh my God, he was really racist.
Somewhat of a men's rights activist.
Yeah, because they see they see the Arab Alphas video. Me and Mike, he loves cologne. They don't see the right clips of me, and then they see me and Ryan. I think he's gay.
He was also gay and weirdly progressive.
Yeah, he was gay but hates women but loves women. What was going?
What an enigma.
Yeah, crazy guy. Really weird. But no, I would love for. I obviously I want to release hours and stand up and put it out in the world, and then generations down the line people view it and see it kind of like on TikTok when they see short clips of super old classic movies, and then you have kids on TikTok what is this, what movie is this, and then the older people are like, oh yeah, it's kicking
it's
and
a classic called The Breakfast Club.
Yeah, I know, straight up.
Yeah.
It would just be oh, these are classic movies, and they're all these kids. That's literally my little brother is seeing. My brother is 19 years old, turning 20. But yeah, his high school, he's seeing old classic stuff. Well, to him it's old shit, but to us it's this is where I felt old. Maria, my sister, came out. She was wearing a Nirvana shirt. And I was like, oh, you like Nirvana? She was like, yeah, it's retro.
No.
Oh, no.
You know what? Our generation had it too when Urban Outfitters was selling the Ramones t-shirts. You know what I mean? Every generation has their stupid.
Right. But for them, it's they have so much content in the palm of their hand. So it'd be really cool if an old video of mine shows up on their algorithm. That would be cool. Oh,
I love that.
I don't think that's impossible at all.
Yeah.
I think the work we're doing right now as Arabs in comedy is going to pave the way.
Yeah, I think about that too. I feel the next generation, it's the generation before us, they they really have paved the way. And then we're smoothing it out. And then more, it's going to just be easier and easier. It's not just Rami Youssef or Kumail Nanjiani. You could just say, oh, Arab. You know how Arab comedians are?
Yeah.
But it's kind of we will have our renaissance soon, And it all starts with you two ladies.
And
starts
you.
or ends. The other way.
Or
you're laughing. You're I'll pave the
No,
way. And
y'all
I'm and I'll add a street sign. Mine will just be yield.
Yeah. Don't forget to clean up after yourselves.
All right, we're going to wrap it up.
This has been Cleopodtra. I'm Lynn Molly.
I've been Christy Bana. Thank you so much, Ahmed, for joining us. Would you like to promote anything?
Yes, I got to plug my shows. All right. Follow me on Instagram, Ahmed Loves Bread. December 3rd, I'll be in Phoenix, Arizona with Sahib Singh. December 7th, I'll be headlining in San Diego at Mic Drop. December 13th, I'll be at Irvine, California with Sahib Singh in Irvine Improv. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate you being here. Follow Ahmed, follow us, rate, subscribe, and above all, tell Ahmed what's wrong with him because he will follow your advice. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Bye.